Yeah, baby! Halloween.
I thought it was actually a pretty fun movie. I went in with very low expectations. So with that in mind, I was actually pleasantly surprised.
I'd say that this movie that we just watched is probably the best movie in the Halloween franchise since the original.
Absolutely.
The original film, John Carpenter directed it. It basically pioneered the slasher film genre that dominated horror for the entire 1980s. Particularly what I'd consider to be the big three: Halloween, Friday the 13th, and Nightmare on Elm Street.
Street. Yeah.
I love all of those movies, even the terrible ones. In some cases, especially the terrible ones.
For different reasons. I like slasher movies, but I like them when they're so bad they're good.
Okay.
That's what I go to them for.
So you're more of like a Jason Takes Manhattan. That movie's amazing.
So I understand the slasher genre. I understand what I'm going to watch it for, and so the bar is very low. Well done, yeah, actually.
Yeah.
It was quite well done. It wasn't too gory, which I liked. I don't like torture porn films. The shock factor,
Yeah.
The movie tried to, again, find an explanation for the villain, the whole, psychoanalysis thing, the infatuation with evil.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of that kind of thing. I love the Omen movies for that as well. That's the kind of horror that I like, where we try to find the meaning behind the I like the focus they gave in this movie for that.
Do I make you horny, baby? Do I? Do I make you...
As far as slasher movies go, this one was pretty good. The plot is pretty simple. It's been 40 years since the events of the first movie. Michael Myers escapes captivity and he goes on another killing spree on Halloween night. And that's all it really needed to be. It's another one of these soft reboots where it's like, here's a very similar concept.
Right.
Get one or two of the old returning cast members and bring them back and do the same thing but with a younger generation of kids. Jamie Lee Curtis was really, really good in this.
Oh, yeah.
She always seems to put her best foot forward.
Yeah, no matter the genre or the role.
Yeah, she's a really good actress. I like her a lot.
Jamie has a talent. She was perfect for the movie I made, and now she's perfect for David Gordon Green's movie.
It's a different character, certainly, than any other version of Laurie Strode.
Vengeful and like, I won't have this happen to me again. I'm ready now kind of an attitude, yeah.
Judy Greer was also pretty good. She plays Laurie's daughter. The guy that played Judy Greer's husband was hilarious.
Yeah.
I liked him a lot. And the actress they got to play Laurie's granddaughter was also pretty good. She's this sort of wholesome, straight-laced teenager where her friends want to like screw around and do drugs and drink, but she's like, no, it's a school night.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And that's kind of the character that Laurie was in that original film. And the movie does a really good job of showing their whole family dynamic.
Right.
Laurie's had this traumatic past, and so she did a pretty bad job of raising her daughter and strained relationships. I thought that was all interesting. This film retcons every other movie in the series except for the first one.
Wait a tick. That means I'm single again. Oh, behave! Yeah!
This is now the third film in the series to just be called Halloween.
That's actually a really good point. I didn't even think about that because it is a sequel to the first movie. Yeah.
It's not even a reboot. Like, I understand the reboot film being just called Halloween. But why this one? It doesn't make any sense. Regardless, there's a few nods to the other Halloween movies in this film, like it's referenced at one point Laurie and Michael being siblings, and that's no longer the case. That's been retconned.
Wasn't it her brother who murdered all those babysitters?
No, it was not her brother. That's something that people made up.
Okay, there's a little bit of fan service here and there.
Yeah, a little bit, but it mostly this one's kind of doing its own thing.
I'm not as familiar with the Halloween franchise as you are, but I do remember the music. It's probably some of the most iconic horror movie music that ever was and ever will be. And I am so glad they brought it back.
The sound of Halloween is so iconic, we had to have his blessing. We had to have a John Carpenter score.
It had a title credit sequence.
Yeah.
That was the last time we saw that.
It was a cool title credit sequence.
Yeah, I liked it. Yeah, I liked it a lot. And it really did help the movie still feel a little old.
Yeah.
I found a lot of like the graphical treatments, the type treatments, the coloration sometimes felt like an old film. And that was nice. The movie was actually shot really nicely. I was happy to see how much they used composition to create tension. There was a whole section where the character was awkwardly shoved to the left of frame, and throughout the whole sequence, you're just like, what's happening to the left of her? What's happening to the left of her? So really nicely done. There were some long shots where the tension was allowed to grow.
Yeah.
There's a whole section where we see Mikey in the back walking around a corner.
Yeah.
And we see the target as well going back and forth between the rooms, and it's a great job of building tension.
That's true, yeah. The sort of the geography of the house comes into play in a big way. That stuff was really cool. I wish they'd done more with that.
More of that, yeah. The lighting as well was fantastic. Not only just for color treatment and stuff,
yeah,
but also at times the lighting would blind you and you would feel as helpless as one of the characters does. You're just like, I can't see what's going on. I want to know what's happening. That was really good. So it's funny that despite being so technically capable, the editing was just shoddy. There was a lot of times where they were cutting more than they had to, or it felt like there must have been a better shot there somewhere.
You could tell they probably didn't have the best stunts, because anytime anything physical is going on, it's sort of like
shaky cam or cutaways. Whatever, it was still fine for what it is. Again, setting that bar real low, I guess.
This movie had some tense moments, but it didn't really scare me at all. I don't even think slasher movies are supposed to be scary anymore, quote unquote. This movie even kind of lampshades that fact where a character brings up that the real world in 2018 is a lot scarier than a man in a mask who stabs people.
Yeah.
Overall, I'd recommend Halloween. I was perfectly satisfied. I got everything I wanted out of it, but then again, obviously, I'm coming at this from a very specific place.
Right, yeah. Fun ride, overall. If you're in the mood for a spook or two, if you're feeling that kind of Halloween, October vibe, go watch it. If you don't care for slasher films, you don't care for horrors, sit this one out.
Thank you very much for watching Bull Session. If you liked this video, you'd be doing me a huge favor by hitting that like button, subscribing to the...
Slash that like button.
Stab that like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done that yet, and leave a comment down below letting me know your thoughts on the Halloween franchise. Thanks very much once again for watching, and take care.